The Rote is in the Lechquellen Mountains in the state of Vorarlberg in Austria on the border with Tyrol. The southern buttress is unique because it's an exceptionally steep wild wall which is up to 300 meters high. The geology of the wall makes it perfect for really difficult climbing. I've known Alex since he was 14. He's learned everything from scratch and has a great technique, always in control. I really admire that about him. He's already so mature, even though he's still young. Looking back on the first time I saw the Rote when I was 14 years old, it clearly made an impact on me, on my development as a climber, on my views about climbing, and the way I climb. Look at the wall there. You can see the line. Up the steep yellow part of the wall, to the right of the arete, that's where it starts. And then over to the left, over the roof. The first belay is on the ledge there. I actually noticed the line when I was doing my first ascent on the Rote. Then I started to think that if it were possible to free climb this wall, then I was ready to invest some energy in it. And I got so motivated and wanted to do it. Last year, the time came when I had enough courage and experience to say I was ready to get started on the project. You can visualize the route. It goes up there. Maybe. But higher up, there's a section I can't see properly. I don't know what it would be like from down here. First, you need to climb 4 or 5 pitches, then assess and tackle the crux section once you're there. My climbing philosophy, so to speak, is that I want to free climb the whole route, even on the first ascent. That means I use the protection and gear solely for safety.
Sicherungsmittel oder technische Hilfsmittel nur zur Sicherung.
That's it. Now it's good. Of course, it's more difficult to free climb a first ascent, but that's just how I believe first ascent should be. You do need to be bold to climb some sections. If you're climbing at the limit, at the top end of grade 10, and the route is at the top end of a grade 10 or French 8B+, you really have to make it, and it's pretty serious. Once I'd done the first ascent of Sangre de Toro, the logical next step for me was to free climb the whole route in a day, without taking any rest. I wanted to make the first red point ascent.
Das heißt, ich wollte die erste Rotpunktbegehung machen.
You can see from here how steep it is. It's crazy. The first pitch goes over the roof. At the start, there's some difficult bouldering moves. Then you place some protection, then it gets steeper and steeper and more difficult. And at the end, there's a really hard section. You've got to place your own protection, and even then, it's pretty spaced out because the rock's compact, and you can't get anything in between. The crux pitch, the fourth, is at the top end of grade 10. Once I've climbed the crux pitch, I'll know I'll make it. Then I'm unstoppable. I think Sangre de Toro is definitely one of the most demanding climbing routes in the world. Wow, it would be cool if I could send it today. It's not like you get many opportunities every day to make the red point ascent. Most of the time, it's only when you have one of those perfect days when everything runs like clockwork. You need to crack it on the first or second attempt. Otherwise, you've missed your chance. When you're at the base of the climb and start up the first few meters of the first pitch, you really need to make the mental switch from the approach, from just looking at the crag, and be 100% focused. This pitch is about a grade 9. It's 55 meters long, so you often need to extend the runners so you don't get too much drag on the rope. What fascinates me about climbing is the responsibility you have to take on yourself. I have to put in my own protection, which means I need to decide if it's good enough for me. Do I climb higher? If it's not good enough, maybe I need to find another piece of protection or turn back. Okay, on belay. The most difficult part of the route is on the fourth pitch. It traverses up from left to right. The rock's quite poor even at the start, so you really need to keep it together because you're feeling uneasy. You've already got some difficult bouldering moves early on. And then you need to work your way up the overhang on the small holes, and it gets more difficult as you move up. And it's really overhanging, so it saps your strength. It's very dynamic climbing. Cool. One more difficult pitch now. It's cold now. The sun's not on us. I'll leave the jacket on, the blue one. The fifth pitch is 30 minutes long, but the crux section is at 15-20 meters. It's very steep, because we're still in the steep roof section of the Rote. You really have to pull out all the stops and make some hard moves. There's a scene here I can follow, but it's too poor for my hands, which means I have to pull up on really small holes and jam my feet in the cracks somehow. Okay, Hannes, on belay.
Stop!
Sangre de Toro is the kind of route where you really have to put your heart and soul into it if you want to repeat it. And of course, repeating a climb is easier than making the first ascent. So hats off to Alex for what he's achieved. It's really fantastic.
Das ist schon großartig.
Geil.
Cool. We made it to the top.
Woo.
Sangre de Toro is the most difficult first ascent I've done so far, and definitely a highlight. I think it will always be, because it's simply a fantastic route. When I reached the top, what a feeling. An indescribable feeling, pure joy. A kind of release in some ways, because a project that had dominated my life for so long, in my dreams, was finally complete. It was just crazy. Now we've earned ourselves a beer. The bull bloodline at the Rote has been conquered. And Alex Luger, he's already preoccupied with his next climbing project.